Hi, it's Kim Watson here. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to do a new process video about my latest page, Hello Life from Hit Kit Club, using the December kits. Let's get started. First, I'm going to create a mixed media background. I took a piece of packaging, sprayed some mist, which is the beautiful colorings from Shimmers, which is the pink stilettos, beautiful vibrant colors. I just pressed the ink, the watered down ink, onto the cardstock, used two different shades to get a nice blend of pink shades, pink colors. Then took the undiluted ink and splattered it on the background to get a few vibrant areas. Some kitchen towel to mop up any wet splatters which might still be on the page. Obviously, by mopping them up, the page dries a lot quicker, which means you can start scrapping straight away. When starting this page, I took that lovely patchwork design from the Take It Away collection and cut the blocks up. The nice thing about it is all the patterns coordinate so beautifully together, which really helped when I created my layers on which I wanted to put my two photographs, especially on this bottom section. The little patterns are quite small and coordinate super well together, so it made this page, putting together this page, so easy. You'll notice that I'm actually mapping the page out. I do this beforehand so that I can get a good feel for where the page is going before I actually adhere things. If you're looking for extra color accents that might not necessarily be in the kit ready to go, do what I did. I took the building's paper design and cut up a little yellow building, which I then slid under the tag, the Hello You tag, and it creates the perfect little bit of yellow balance, which is what is needed on that top section of the page. I just continued placing ephemera around the page until it sort of felt like it looked right. And the nice thing about these ephemera packs is that they're so well coordinated. See that little plus that I'm using over there? It came from this piece of paper, which is the Maggie Holmes Bloom. It's sort of faux washi tape, and cut out these little pluses create such a lovely 3D effect. And arrows, again, I know that I tend to do this if you know my scrapping. I like to stick to my visual triangles, so I'm looking for a place for my 3 wooden arrows. Don't hold it against me. But yeah, then come the little acrylic stars. These are exclusive to the December Hip Kit Club. The nice thing is the colors perfectly coordinate with the rest of the bits, so the color is perfect. I wanted a striped piece of paper to go underneath this layer over here, but didn't want to cut up a 12 by 12. Took one of those little blocks, cut it in half, sellotaped it together, and voila, I had a lovely little striped piece of paper. Perfect design-wise in terms of getting the color balance right for both clusters. I did the same for the top under the Hello You tag. That little painted white stripe is the right one. Again, cut it out, halved it, sellotaped it together to make a long strip, and then slid it underneath. Yeah, the sellotape always sticks on the wrong side. Gotta love it. Anyhow, and yep, slip that underneath, trim it down a little first. That looks perfect there. I now feel like everything is starting to look like it's almost ready to go. I think I'm going to start adhering things. When adhering the page together, I don't actually put adhesive on all the elements on the page. I start with the underneath layers, layering strategically placed pieces of foam tape. You also notice that I'm a bit mingy when it comes to my foam tape, so instead of using an entire block, I will cut that block down into smaller squares, quarters or halves, and then stick it under the main layers so that I can start raising elements off the page. And then you'll notice that not everything gets a little piece of adhesive. Sometimes it just takes 1 or 2 pieces, and it should be firm enough to hold the bits down on the background. Next, I'm going to attach the little ampersand ephemera piece at the top. It just creates a little height. I'd like to start the whole layout to start looking like it's blending into the acrylic stars, which I've scattered at the top of the page. To me, they're representative of, you know, Reach for the Stars, or, you know, the girls' dreams, you know, given that the girls are now finished school and looking at what they're going to be studying for uni. So yeah, it was a little symbolic. The pluses, again, if you just put a little tiny bit of adhesive on the one corner, it only attaches on that corner under the page, then you're allowing you to then bend the rest of the shape up, creating some 3D effect there. You just sort of flick them up with your fingers and it makes everything stand up really nicely. I needed a bit of extra height at the top there, and of course forgot to put the frame. So I'm lifting the bottom layer so that I can stick the frame underneath. One of the reasons why I don't use too much adhesive, so as I go along, if I do forget things, I can go back and put them in. On goes the little bow and the little wooden arrow. Again, being color balanced and me being a visual triangle lover of visual triangles, I like to have things in threes. So 1, 2, 3 little arrows. I know, a little bit predictable. Yes, I know. Don't you just love those charcoal glitter alphas from American Crafts? They are the perfect depth of color in terms of getting a little bit of contrast on the page. So those work really well there. And you'll notice later on in the video that I take some of that gorgeous metallic shimmer mist, which is also from Shimmers, and flick that around the page. It's the same shade as those alphas, so it creates some great color balance. I'm just popping some Tombow mono glue on the base of those little acrylic stars, which are exclusive embellishments which came with the December kits. They're just popping the photos on again. Not really very need for much linear positioning. I tilted them a little just to make it a little quirky and whimsical. It works well with the overall loose vibe of this page. Now I can stick the title on, which I layered on one of the ephemera pieces, and it works perfectly in that corner. You'll notice again, one of my visual triangles are the little mirrored effects from my mind's eye. Don't you just love them? They're so sophisticated, yet have such a beautiful loose font. I'm enjoying them so much. There's a little heart in the top corner, and then of course the hello sentiment on the bottom corner. Just attaching the bow again with my Tombow mono glue. Trying to get that pesky photo to stay still. Because every time I touch it, it shifts. It's so irritating. Anyway, more glue goes on. Third arrow. I changed the direction of the actual arrow from what my original thought was, so that they're all lying horizontal. Look there, the arrow shifted. Oh, gotta love it. This here is one of those beautiful little thread tassels, which are part of Maggie Holmes's collection. I used the 2 in the mirrored alphas on the side there to keep that tassel in place. I just attach a little knot of twine so that it has something to dangle on, then it dangles free. It just looked so much better than sticking the thing completely flat. Now that the page is put together, I am handwriting my journaling. Just my thoughts on the year coming and how proud I am of the girls and how well they did at school. So, using one of the Bella Boulevard Illustrated Faith marking pens, which have a really, really nice fine tip, I'm just jotting down my journaling. And you'll notice once I'm done, I take a little ruler and rule some straight lines under the journaling. I love the symmetry of the actual lines as opposed to just leaving it loose. I felt like something was missing on the side of the page, so tried to tag, but that didn't look right, and then realized that I was actually missing my third frame. So grabbed this little lilac frame. Once it was underneath, it was obviously the thing that was missing. Everything looked perfectly balanced after that. So I was happy with the whole overall layout. Now I just needed to add the splatters of that gorgeous charcoal shimmers, which I just used the container, the spray container and the tube, and flicking it gives you the perfect type of splatters, which as you can see really, really helped the page look completely balanced. And last but not least, a few little aqua accents. That is an exclusive flare designed by Kimberly Hutchinson. You always find that there's always some great exclusive bits and bobs in the kits which really help to make sure that they are perfectly coordinated and that you have everything to make your scrapping process a lot easier. So yeah, so that's it. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're interested in Hip Kit Club kits, pop onto their website hipkitclub.net and you'll find all the details there. Until next time, bye bye. Thanks for joining me.